Somewhere right now, a person is about to make a mistake that someone already warned them about. Maybe it's a text they shouldn't send. Maybe it's a shortcut they shouldn't take. Maybe it's a warning sign they'd ripple, choosing to walk past because stopping feels weak and moving forward feels brave. But here's the truth. Nobody tells you early enough in life. Bravery and stupidity often look identical in the moment. The only difference shows up later, when the results come in. Think about the last time someone gave you advice and you brushed it off. Not because it was wrong, but because it felt like a small thing. A tiny sentence. A quick warning. Easy to ignore, easy to forget. And maybe nothing happened right away. Maybe you even felt proud of yourself for not needing anyone's guidance. That silence after ignoring good advice feels like winning. It feels like you were right, and everyone else was overreacting. But silence is not proof that you were safe. Silence is just a delay. Problems don't always show up the second you create them. Sometimes they wait. They grow quietly in the background while you're busy celebrating your so-called independence. Every warning you've ever received in life, from a parent, a mentor, a stranger, a book, a video, came from somewhere real. Someone lived through a version of your situation and came out the other side with a scar and a lesson. They didn't write it down to control you. They wrote it down because pain taught them something, and they didn't want you to pay the same price they paid. That's what advice really is. It's not a rule book designed to trap you. It's a shortcut built from someone else's suffering, handed to you for free. And yet so many people treat guidance like an insult, as if being told something means someone thinks they're incapable, as if listening makes you weak instead of wise. That's the trap pride sets for you. It convinces you that ignoring advice proves strength, when really, it just proves you haven't been humbled yet. Everyone who has ever fallen into a mistake they were warned about thought the exact same thing before it happened. That won't happen to me. I'm different. I'll be fine. That phrase, "I'll be fine," might be one of the most dangerous sentences a person can say to themselves. It's said right before people ignore their health warnings, right before people walk away from stable opportunities, chasing shiny distractions, right before people burn bridges they'll spend years trying to rebuild. Nobody says, "I'll be fine," and then checks back later to see if they actually were. They just move forward, blind and confident, until the moment reality taps them on the shoulder. So today, we're not just talking about ignoring instructions. We're talking about why humans are wired to resist guidance even when it proves clearly in their best interest. Why timing matters more than people realize. Why waiting is often mistaken for failure. And why the people who seem to get lucky in life are usually just the ones who learned to listen before it was too late. If you've ever wondered why some people keep repeating the same mistakes while others seem to grow smoother and steadier with time, stay with me, because the answer is simpler than you think, and a little uncomfortable too. Nobody enjoys being told what to do. It feels like someone is trying to shrink you, control you, put limits on something that should be limitless. But that feeling is misleading. Good advice isn't a wall built to stop you. It's a map drawn by someone who already got lost once and found their way back. When you ignore a map, you're not proving your freedom. You're just choosing to get lost the hard way, on your own time, with your own consequences. Most people don't reject advice because it's bad. They reject it because listening feels like admitting they don't already know everything. That's ego talking, not logic. And ego is loud. It convinces you that your situation is somehow different from everyone else's, that the warning applies to other people but not to you. But warnings rarely come with exceptions. Fire burns everyone the same way, whether you believe in the danger or not. Here's something people don't talk about enough. When you ignore good advice and nothing bad happens immediately, your brain treats that as proof you were right. But timing and consequences don't always move at the same speed. Sometimes the damage takes weeks to show up. Sometimes it takes years. A person who skips their health checkups doesn't collapse the next day. A person who overspends doesn't go broke in 1 week. A person who ignores a relationship problem doesn't lose that relationship overnight. The gap between the mistake and the consequence is where people convince themselves they got away with something. But nobody gets away with anything. They just haven't been billed yet. We often think about timing as something mechanical, like an alarm going off at the right hour. But real timing is closer to a rhythm you either respect or fight against. There are seasons where waiting is the smartest move you can make, even though everything in you wants to act right now. And there are seasons where hesitation costs you the very thing you were hoping for. The hard part is learning to tell the difference. People who wait when they should have moved often blame bad luck. People who moved when they should have waited often blame bad luck too. But it's rarely luck. It's a failure to read the moment correctly. And reading the moment correctly usually requires listening to people who'd been through similar moments before you. That's what makes mentors, elders, and honest friends so valuable. They've already lived the season you're currently standing in. One of the hardest lessons in life is understanding that you can't gain something new while holding on to everything old. Growth requires letting go of comfort, and comfort is one of the hardest things for a human being to release. People resist advice that asks them to change something familiar, even when that familiar thing is quietly hurting them. They'd rather stay in a situation they understand than risk a new one, even if the new one is clearly better. But every meaningful change in life comes with a cost. Time, comfort, old habits, sometimes even relationships that no longer serve your growth. The people who succeed aren't the ones who avoided sacrifice. They're the ones who understood that sacrifice is simply an exchange, not a punishment. You trade something smaller for something bigger, and if you refuse the trade, you don't keep everything. You just lose the chance at something greater, while keeping something that was never going to satisfy you long-term anyway. Notice something about people who seem to move through life with less chaos. They're rarely the loudest in the room. They're not constantly proving how independent or unstoppable they are. Instead, they ask questions. They listen more than they speak. They take advice seriously, even when it stings a little. Not because they're weak, but because they understand something most people miss. Listening is not the opposite of strength. It's the foundation of it. The loudest people, the ones who reject every warning and call it freedom, often end up repeating the same struggles over and over. Not because life is unfair to them, but because they never gave themselves the chance to learn from anyone but their own mistakes. And learning only from your own mistakes is one of the slowest, most painful ways to grow. Every time you ignore solid advice, you're not just risking one bad outcome. You're closing a door that might never open again the same way. A missed opportunity doesn't always come back around. A damaged relationship doesn't always heal the same way. A health warning ignored today can turn into a permanent limitation tomorrow. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up gently, before life has to wake you up the hard way. The good news is this: you don't have to learn everything through pain. You can choose to learn through listening instead. You can choose to see advice not as an attack on your independence, but as a gift from someone who already paid the price so you wouldn't have to. That's not weakness. That's wisdom in its simplest form. So here's the real question. Not whether you're strong enough to ignore advice and survive, because most people can survive 1 or 2 hits. The real question is whether you're wise enough to avoid unnecessary pain in the first place. Because life doesn't reward the people who suffered the most. It rewards the people who learned the fastest, listened the closest, and moved with the moment instead of against it. If this message reached you at the right time, don't brush it off like just another video. Sit with it for a second. Think about one piece of advice you've been ignoring lately. One warning you've pushed aside because it felt inconvenient. Maybe today is the day you finally listen. If this resonated with you, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Drop a comment and tell me, what's one piece of advice you ignored once? And what did it teach you? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. Take care of yourself, listen a little closer, and I'll see you in the next video.